everybody, you got Rich Norton here. Welcome to RMS Sales Training and Inspiration. We are over 100 shows and it is absolutely fantastic. I think about when this first started, we actually did the shows live, and that was kind of a challenge when you're doing something live, and now what we do is we record them, and they're for your pleasure to watch them over and over and over again. But to see how far we've come and all the exciting things that we've been able to accomplish with it, and that's been my goal from the beginning, to say we have videos, and I'm very fortunate that I was able to meet Mike Aloya and Bruce Shepard from American Hearts Radio, and they were out here at Hands and Feet Foundation and just had a chance to meet them. And as I was speaking with them, I was saying to them, man, I think this would really be helpful for my business, for our industry. And needless to say, to see what's been happening since then has been great. We have our shows, RMS Sales Training and Inspiration. We also have the shows that we did when we went on our Tuscaloosa, Alabama Sales Blitz. That was fun. Some great shows there. Lots of videos. We've got some videos on our website, and our website is getting bigger and bigger. So if you go to rmssupercrew.com, you'll see all the great things that we have on there. And I'm excited about that because I was scrolling through it and I saw all the different photo gallery that we have. We have pictures from our trips that we've had, our Christmas party that we had, our trip, awards trip that we had back in Florida. A lot more pictures are going to go on there. We're going to put more videos on there. But as I scroll through it, we have a couple different things that require passwords. One of them is the training materials, so we got all that information right there. And if you put in the password, you got to call me for that or email me. Phone number you got, 904-434-4635. You can email me, retrieverrichnorton@gmail.com, or our other email. You'll see them on the screen throughout the show. You can reach out to me, and if you are a retriever representative and you're ready to make it happen, we'll give you the password. A lot of you already have it. Maybe some of you forgot it or you don't have it, but there is a bunch of information just on that by itself. You will see videos about how to fill out the merchant application. You will see videos about different terminals, how to show to other merchants. You will have the rep presentation. You will have a presentation where you can show to the merchant, because a lot of you had said to me, hey Rich, I wish I had a book, or I wish I had something I could show to these merchants. Well, guess what? It's right there for you. All you got to do is get on that website, go to the training materials, and you've got every bit of information right there that'll take you from the intro to the company, to the different products, to the cash discount. And not only that, we have several statement examples so you can show to merchants, and I will be adding more. The goal is to have statement examples of every type of merchant that you'll be meeting. So if you walk into a flower shop and you find out what their average ticket is, you can go right to the statement examples and give an example of where they would be with us. Smaller tickets, bigger tickets, larger tickets, it's all going to be there. We've got a bunch there already, but it's fantastic. I'm really excited about it. I scroll through it and I'm like, man, this is amazing. We provide all the resources, all the great things for representatives. All they got to do is just tap into the resources, make a decision, and just go for it. So that's exciting. All the other things that's on there, all of our shows, over 100 shows, they're all on there. Monday morning motivations, all of them I've done for the last couple of years, they're all on there. So if you want to get positive, if you want to get inspired, if you want the sales training material for you to become successful, all you got to do is just tap into those resources, look them up, take advantage of it, get excited about it. So I'm very thrilled and very thankful to American Hearts Radio, to Mike and Bruce, everybody that's been involved over the last 3-4 years. We've been doing this now, and we're going to continue to do it. We're going to continue to grow. We've got some other ideas, some other things that we have going on for the future, and our minds are spinning. You know, we're ready to make it happen, and we're doing this all for you. So nobody can ever say, they're not providing enough for me. I don't get enough training. The stuff that I hear from other merchant service companies, I hear that all the time, they can never say here. Nobody will ever feel like a Lone Ranger Retriever representative. If you feel that way, that's your fault, because all the resources are here. Reach out to me, reach out to other representatives. You will find that we have an awesome retriever family, people that are ready to help, people that are there for you to help you to become successful. So we are going to continue with our one-on-one training with Rich Norton. I've been doing these with several representatives, a lot of new representatives. I'm doing it with a group right now, and I am taking people from start to finish, and we are getting closer to the end of this series right now. The exciting part about this is if you've been through that training, because there's nothing like one-on-one, we're doing a lot of role-playing, but everything that you watch will be a big review, and it's right there for your success. So I'm real excited about that. We're going to kind of continue with going over equipment. We'll go into what you do in case you run across a merchant that is in a lease right now. So we'll get to that part, and we'll take our time. We're not going to rush through this. We're going to provide all the information that you need to become successful. So let's take a short break. I'm excited about the future. I hope you are as well. I'll be right back. Hey, it's Rich Norton with Retriever Merchant Solutions. I want to thank all of you for watching our shows. We're hearing a lot of great positive feedback, and I'm hearing a lot from different representatives from other merchant service companies, which is fantastic. And people are telling me, man, we've got sales teams watching your shows, but I want to be on your team. And how do I get started? How do I qualify? How can I work with your company? I love what you're doing. I love the people. I love all the shows. You guys have a lot of enthusiasm, you have a lot of direction, a lot of discipline, and great things are happening. I'm seeing representatives win trips, and I want to have that lifestyle. I want to be part of a team like that, because many of the representatives that we're talking to are coming from other merchant service companies, and no big deal, nothing bad against them, but a lot of stories that I'm hearing is that they're feeling like they're lone rangers. They've started out with a company and they got a little bit of training, maybe watched a couple videos, and then they're kind of thrown out there like, go out there and do it, good luck, you're on your own, and that's it. And a lot of them are falling flat on their face, they're struggling along, they're putt-putting along, and they're getting kind of discouraged. Well, I want you to know at Retriever Merchant Solutions, especially within my group, the RPS Super Group, you will never feel that way. We are here for your success. What separates us from everybody else is that we put a lot of time, a lot of effort, and we work together as a team. We will make sure that you're going to have great success as long as you're willing to put forth the effort. Now, people may say, what is the key to success? How am I going to have success in your industry? I want to be successful. Well, it's bottom line, two things. It's all about attitude. I always say this, attitude, attitude, attitude. Believe in what you're doing. I can put all that as one thing, and go to work. Attitude, belief, go to work. All right, if you do that, you're going to have great success. So if you're looking for an amazing opportunity and you want to join a winning team, give me a call. The email is right here, you'll see that, but also you can call me directly. You can call me on my cell phone, 904-434-4635. You can shoot me a text, I'll get back with you. I keep busy, but I will get back with you, and you can join a winning team, and we will help you have all your dreams come true. All right, my friends, I am back with you, and I am excited to be here with you. We are taking you through step-by-step training with the one and only Rich Norton, that's me, from Retriever Merchant Solutions, right here on this fantastic show, RMS Sales Training and Inspiration on American Hearts Radio, filmed today at Hands and Feet Foundation. You will hear and probably hear in the background, we're on a busy street, we're in a tough area. This is where I serve every Saturday, and this is where they serve people 7 days a week what a great ministry to be involved in. So let's get right to it. We've covered a lot of information, and I want to go through this nice and slow. So you've gotten traditional processing. That's kind of where we left off. And you're down to the point where you need to find out what is the status of the merchant's equipment, okay? Before you quote a price, if you're going to do a lease, we need to find out exactly where the merchant is right now. We talked about this before. I'm going to review it again. A merchant either owns their equipment outright, and you want to find this out. By the way, are you currently leasing your equipment right now? You will be amazed how many merchants do not know the answer to that at all. It's incredible that they don't know the answer. But a lot of merchants don't. They don't pay much attention to it. That's where you come in. Your job is to educate. Your job is to help the merchant. So they may own it outright, meaning they bought the terminal. Most of them will know, yeah, I paid a certain amount for that terminal, whatever it may be. Whatever the equipment is, do they own it outright? Another thing is they might be renting the equipment. In most cases, they will be right on the merchant statement. You will see rented equipment, terminal rental. The majority of the time, it'll be right there. However, leasing companies, which I'll get into as well, are starting to do rental programs. So you may see a separate lease rental where it's a month-to-month rental. That will be on their bank statement as a separate charge. And that goes for the lease, which I'm going to get into as well. The other option is they might say, well, we got this equipment for free. This is where you start educating the merchant, because you have already showed this merchant a ton of savings already. You have pointed out a bunch of junk fees, additional fees that they're currently paying. So what you're pointing out to them, which they already know, but you are going to reinforce to them that, Mr. Merchant, as you have seen, nothing is free. You've been in business long enough to know that nothing is free. Free is costing you about $100 or $150 a month. All the extra high rates, I've shown you the savings. You are filled with a whole bunch of additional monthly garbage fees. That is covering your free terminal. So you made that point right there, that their so-called free equipment is not free equipment. So it's important that you emphasize that to the merchant. So are they owning it? Are they renting it? Where is it provided to them by their current merchant provider? And you will find out as you get to know names of different merchant service companies, you're going to find out what companies do what. So you'll find that information out. And the final thing is, are they leasing the equipment? Okay? How do you find this out? Now, you'll be amazed. Once again, many merchants that we speak to have no idea that they're in a lease. They thought maybe the lease was paid for, maybe the lease it was done 4 or 5 years ago, but they're still being charged for it, and it's on their bank statement. So at this point, when you're talking to a merchant, and we talk about this throughout the entire presentation, you're getting the people to like you, you're getting the people to listen to you, and you're getting the people to trust you. That's all part of the program. Like, listen, and trust. So keep in mind, at this point, you have developed an excellent rapport with the merchant, and you know that they trust you at this point. And you'll be amazed when you say to them, Mr. Merchant or Mrs. Merchant, whoever it may be, do you know if you're in a lease with your equipment right now? They're going to say, I'm not really sure. I don't know. Where would that be? Okay, you're going to find a lot of merchants are like that. This is where you need to search, find information, educate the merchant, and you're going to let them know. Well, the lease will not be on your merchant statement. That will be on your bank statement, on your checking account statement. That's where you'll find the lease, okay? Very important that you get that information out. That's where you're going to find the lease. So they're going to break out. A lot of times they'll have it right there. They'll break out their bank statement, or they'll get online and they'll start scrolling through it. This happens all the time. And a lot of times they may not find it. So what they're going to do is they'll say, here's the statement. You know more about this than I do. You take a look at it. Happens all the time. Why does that happen? Because you have shown to the merchant, you know what you're doing, you know what you're talking about, and they trust in you. So you made that point already. So you break it out, and you're looking to see for the leasing company. Whatever that leasing company is, you're going to find it on the bank statement underneath debits. In other words, where different companies are taking money out of their bank account. So that's where it's going to be. Now there's several different leasing companies. I have that information right here. Okay, we talked about, if you go to your training materials there, and you'll see the presentation, training documents. You have like 29 pages. You'll see that on page 20, what I talked about, and you're going to see it on page 21 as well. So here's what you're going to find out. This is the information that you need to find out before you go further with the merchant. Very important information. This is stuff that I'm going to say 99% of other merchant service reps don't even know about, don't even do. They walk away from merchants like this. So if you walk away from a merchant like this, you're missing out on an opportunity. So I'm going to give you a formula. This is exciting. This is going to help you out. If you find a merchant that's in a lease, so let's say you find it, you got the name of the leasing company, here's the information that you need to have. Have your notebook out right now. If you need to pause this, break out your notebook, because it's important that you have this information. Write it all out. First thing you need to have, name of the leasing company. You also want to have the lease number. Most cases, it's going to be right on that bank statement, leasing company, lease number. It's going to be right there, all right? You also want to have the name of the business, where if you have a business card right there with the merchant, you'll have that. Name of the business, the address, telephone number, the person that signed the lease, and the last 4 digits of the Social Security number. Now on page 21, we are going to have that information right there of the different leasing companies. I'll kind of review that with you on this show and probably on the next show. Very important that you have that. So what you're going to do from the merchant's place, from their phone number, you are going to call up that leasing company. It's nice to have the person there that's with you, and you can say, look, I can do this. I can pretty much say I'm you and get all this information, or if you want to get on the phone, we can do it together, however you want to do this. Majority of the time is like, you know what you're doing, you handle it, okay? So you're calling up, and the information that you want to find, very important, is how much do they owe on the lease if they send the equipment back. That's the information that you need to know. So when you call up, they're going to say, it's such and such ABC leasing company, may I help you? Yes, I am calling from whatever the business is. We currently have a lease with you right now. I wanted to find out what the status is of that equipment. So you find out the status, you're calling them up, and they're going to ask you, what is the lease number? Now again, you'll probably have that. If you don't, that's not a big deal. They'll get it through phone number or name of the business, but it helps to have the lease number. That will be right on the bank statement, name of the leasing company and the lease number. So you'll have that information right there. So you're calling them up and you're saying, what I need to know is how much is left on this lease if we send the equipment back. And they're going to say lease number, name of the business, what's the address, what's the telephone number, name of the signer, and the last 4 digits of the social. You got all that information right in front of you with the merchant, and you give that information over the phone. They're going to say, okay, you have 10 months, whatever the amount is, You have 10 months remaining on the lease, and you owe $458.77. Write that down. Make sure you got that information. And verify, is that the amount if the equipment goes back? Yes, that is the amount. Because if they keep the equipment, the amount is going to be more. So very important that you got that exact point made to the person that you're speaking with. Valuable information right there. So you got that information, and here's the exciting part. I have all the information on page 21 in our training materials to know where to send that equipment back and where to send the payoff to. So now you know in your head exactly what is owed with that leasing company. Great information, you found it out. Now let's say, for example, they say, well, your lease is paid off and you're currently on a month-to-month right now. We can start you with a new lease. Now I want you to know this information because this is valuable as well. The leasing company will try to set them up with a new lease for new equipment by themselves. You don't want them to do that because you're doing that. Okay, so keep that in mind. They might say, well, your lease is completely over. If you want, we can, continue to pay month to month, or you can send it back, or we can get you signed up for a new lease. No problem. I think we got this handled. Thank you so much. I think we'll just do the month to month for now. So now you know that if that's the case, the lease is completed, the merchant doesn't owe anything, which is a great thing. They've probably had it more than 4 years. Now all we need to do is get them set up with us and make sure that equipment goes back. Okay? Lots of information here. Good information, valuable information, information that's going to help you to write up merchants when you come across this opportunity. So gone are the days in most cases if a merchant says, I'm currently in a lease right now, I'm stuck. Now you can say, not an issue at all. We buy out leases. I'm able to help merchants have a clean break through them. Oh, you guys do that? If you can do that, I'd love to get rid of this company right here. Well, there you go. Now you've got a merchant that you're going to be able to write up. So what is the formula? What do I do with this information right now? Well, I'm glad that was brought up. I'm glad that you asked. For every $300 that they owe, here's your formula. For every $300 that they owe, you are going to add $10 to that lease. Now, you're not saying that to the merchant. That's why it's important that you have this information up front before you quote what your lease is going to be. All right? So let's say for this merchant right here, we said it was $450 some odd, right? So that's telling you that we need to have $15 more per month in order to cover what that lease cost is right there. So if you were going to do a $39.99 and you gave them a good deal, now you're going to do $54.99 or $55.99, whatever that number is. Why are you doing that? You're taking that extra $15 to cover what that lease payoff is. So here's what you're going to do. When you write the merchant up, in the additional notes, you are saying to whoever your relationship manager is, pay this lease off right here. Name of the leasing company, lease number. If you didn't have that lease number, you can get that when you made the call. By the way, can you give me my lease number again? Yeah, it's 0520000. So you got all that information right there. So on the additional notes, what you are doing is you are writing out exactly what the leasing number is, leasing company, what they need to do. So it's real simple. Pay off First Data Global Leasing or whatever the leasing company is, lease number, here's the amount. And since you have this information in your notes, which I will cover with you, again, it's on page 21, you're going to write out who that's going to and the address that's going to be sent to. Very important that you put that information in. For you newer representatives, I'm going to encourage you to make sure that comes right off the commission. As you build your residuals, you can have it come off your residuals down the road, but get that done right away. I'm going to encourage you to do that. So, very simple. That's exactly what happens. When you have your lease formula, we are deducting the cost of the equipment, the shipping, and we're deducting what that lease payoff is right there. Lots of information. I'm going to encourage you to watch this over and over again. So now you know what to do, and you are making a point, and the merchants trust you because they see that you, as a representative for Retriever Merchant Solutions, you know what you're doing, you know what you're talking about, you've got all that information available. Now you know exactly what to do. And that's what leads us into the equipment right there. So I'm going to take a short break. I'm going to cover a little bit more about the different types of equipment. We'll also cover, before we get into that, the leasing companies, payoffs, so forth. I want you to make sure you have all that information available at your fingertips. So let's take a short break. I'm excited to share this with you. I will be right back.
Hi, we're Rich and Lee Norton with the Hands and Feet Foundation. Hands and Feet is a wonderful ministry where we serve on the west side of Jacksonville, Florida.
And this is a ministry that's near and dear to our heart. There's so many wonderful things that happen out there. Come to 7478 103rd Street, Jacksonville, Florida, or you can go to handsandfeetfoundation.org, or if you want to go to Facebook, Hands and Feet West Side. Come and see what we do. Check us out if you'd like to give or if you'd like to donate your time, whatever it may be. I mean, we're just loving this ministry. Love for you to be part of it as well.
All right, my friends, I hope this is helping you out, and I'm very grateful and very thankful to be able to share this with you because this helps you get to a higher level, so now you know what to do when you get to this point. Now, when you look under the training materials and you see the whole training presentation right there, that's on page 21, you're going to see a list of the leasing companies. Now, I'm not going to give that to you right now because I know a lot of people watch the show from other merchant service companies. That's fine. I don't want to give you all the information, but I want this especially for our representatives that are working with Retriever. I want you to have all this information. So right now, there is 7 different leasing companies and more, but I got the main ones that are there. And you're going to have all the information for the lease company. You're going to have the addresses, where to ship that equipment back to. You're also going to have where to send the payoff to. Because you're going to find that some of these leasing companies have a separate place to where the payoff goes to, and some of them have a separate place to where the equipment goes to. Very important that you have that information. The relationship managers in the office pretty much have that, but we want to make sure that we do this correctly, make sure that we provide all the information. So once again, when you point that out to your relationship manager, when you're turning that merchant application in, make sure that you have that right there. Pay off certain leasing company, lease number, send the check directly to, in the amount of, take off commission. So crystal clear that everything's right there. And then here's what you're going to need to do. Very important that you have this done. Otherwise, the merchant will continue to still pay. Even though it's paid off, they will continue to keep paying for that equipment if we don't do this. Very important that we make sure that equipment goes right back to the leasing company. So what you want to do, especially for you newer representatives, I'm going to encourage you to go back and do the install, help out with the install, make sure you got that done, put that machine in a box, and then have a cancellation letter. If you look, here you go, if you look on the training materials, you're going to see a copy of a cancellation letter. So print that out, bring it with you, give it to the merchant, have them sign it, put the machine in the box, and then close up the box, tape it up, and right on the front of it, write out where the equipment needs to be sent to. Now, if you really want to build a lot of trust with the merchant, the small investment on your part, this is up to you. This is what I do. I make sure the equipment goes back. The more you do for the merchant, the better they feel about you. And that helps you close the deal too as well. If you let them know, we're going to handle everything, I'm going to come in, I'm going to make sure the equipment goes back, we're going to send it back for you. So if you do that, that's what you're going to do. Say, I'm going to take the machine, it's going to cost you about $8, $9, $10 to do that. If you don't do that, leave it right there with the merchant and say, look, just bring this to the UPS store, send it directly to, it's all set up for you to do. All you got to do is drop it off and they'll take care of it. Again, I like to do it for the merchant myself. It's a tax deduction. Make sure you get a receipt for that. But you're going to know, and the merchant's going to know, the equipment has been sent back. Save the tracking number, so if it ever comes up, which this has happened, we never got our equipment. Yeah, you did. Here's the tracking number. Oh, yeah, we got the equipment. So, yes, make sure you have all that. You've covered all your bases right there. So really good information, really happy, real excited to share this with all of you. I know this is helping you. I know this is going to help you get to write more merchants. And it's not going to happen a lot, but imagine if you did this a couple times a month. Those are accounts, man. You're making money up front. You got them signed up with a new lease. We'll get into that a little bit more in the next episode of this one-on-one training. We'll cover that, how to present that, how to close them, and so forth. And I know this is very, very helpful for you. So great, fantastic, very exciting. Great to be able to share this with you. Every day is an amazing gift. Always remember that. What you do with this gift from God, because that's where it comes from, is your gift back to God. So what you do with the day, it's your gift back to God. Always remember that. I'll see you next time on RMS Sales Training and Inspirations.